It is Lord Haywire. I am working on my 2D 4X game. We're moving it from Unity to Godot. And it's actually my other game is less daunting, and this one is very daunting. And I'm like, oh fuck, there's so much. Like it's back to square one. It's so brutal. Jesus Christ. And I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Luckily, that other game, as I develop the other game, I'm learning stuff that I can apply to this, like the UI. That's what we're gonna work on today is the UI. We are very early on into this. We're gonna run it though, so that we can see what we got. So we currently only have one county, and if we click on it, it should show that we clicked on it, which is exactly what we want. If we click on nothing, then nothing should show down there. Oh no, I hope we can't click through these. That was an issue I had with Unity. I never really thought about it. This is set up wrong though. Oh well, I guess it's set up okay, but it's still wrong. We're gonna redo this, and the idea will be that when we click on this will have information in it. And I was just noticing this thing is fucking massive. There's like a number of things that I want to fix. It's funny, my music stopped when I started streaming. Oh, now it's like to the different part. What is going on, YouTube? I listen to my music. I know you guys can't hear it. I think copyright issues, fucking copyright issues. Anyways, so there's a few things. I do have a GitHub project. It just dawned on, or not dawned on me. I just noticed that it was set to private. It was supposed to be public. Man, it's like my internet just took a shit the minute I started streaming. I mean, that's possible. We wanted repositories here. 2D 4X. And we need to go to the projects here. So it's public again, and it's very bare bones because we've started over. Like I said, it's a very daunting task. The other one had like 300 things in it. 300 issues, maybe more of things. But one of the first things I wanted to do is I didn't quite understand. So chat helped me get a signal to work, and I didn't quite understand how that worked before that. So this thing has a signal on it somewhere that I named. Okay, where is it? I can't remember where. We're gonna have to learn again. But I want to rename it because it's not. It's in. It should be here. I want to rename it because I called it left click. That's what I'm looking for. And it shouldn't be left click. It should be mouse click. That's what this is doing. So where the fuck did I put that? This is not the first thing I was expecting. I thought it was on here with this script, which is this one. See, it's called left click, and it's not left click. This is the thing that controls that is left click, and then we'll have right click. So I want mouse click on there. Where the fuck is my signal? Did I stick it in the wrong spot after all this? Maybe I did. I had to put it in some other spot. I'm on the right scene. Oh, maybe it's on this thing. It's on this thing, which is it's under the area 2D. Here we go. So we're gonna have a bunch of these, and we'll probably add a second one of these for testing today. There's a couple of things. Whoops, I want to rename this. Edit. We want this to be. So these are scenes. And we're going to rename this to mouse click. These are scenes. Each thing in Godot is a scene, not a prefab like Unity, which is, it's kind of, you get used to it pretty quick. Just making sure this works. Looks like the rename is fine. This is huge. I know I already said that, but look how huge that thing is. We'll deal with that in a minute. So I added that to this thing. So we'd have something easy to start with, so we can just mark this as done. The other thing that I was really struggling with, once again, like I said, chat helped me. I hate these messages down here, so I always try to get rid of them. And I want to try to get rid of, just take these out again and see what happens. Maybe I was just doing it wrong, leaving a comment in there or something. Because I noticed when I did this, it seems okay. But what happens when I hit play on this puppy again? Yeah, we get some Some debugger error. Method not found. But it does find it when those things are there. They just annoy me. Like, it's fine that they're there, right? It's just, I'm just saying if it's just annoying that those messages are there. And I know I can like suppress them, but I don't want them. I always like bitch and moan when I do a tutorial and I type it all in and I get all these messages. And so I don't want to be the guy. I'm not doing a tutorial, obviously. Wind of Flatus, how's it going? Um, so I don't want to be a hypocrite and have the same stuff happening. I guess I'll leave it for now, but I really want these messages to go away. So let's make this thing. Well, we're gonna start over here with this. This thing needs to go. We'll just. Actually, we'll leave it here temporarily because I want to. I'm gonna use it for like we know the size and stuff. But what we actually need here is a canvas. This is just like a canvas layer. This is just like Unity, and I don't know why I didn't know. Like I didn't think to try this first. Uh, I think so. I watched 3 different tutorials on UI stuff, and in the comments, that someone said, to one of the tutorials was like, "Your life's gonna be much easier if you start with a canvas layer." Then I tried it in my other game. I was like, "Yeah, that guy was right." The creator, I haven't even heard of that movie. Uh, I know I've heard of it in the back of my. Oh, there was something else I want to do. Um, I want my camera. Okay, so this is one. What is that movie about? Like, without spoiling it. So this is one. I think this is two. So one, and for the zoom in, I want to make this. I want to set this at. We want to change the size to the camera, if that makes sense. I think this is too big, so let's make this smaller. Also, probably in half, because the camera is currently at 1. I do this every time. I got to go through everything. Transform is what I want. Its scale, let's go 0.5. And then, oh, is that not going to change this? It's not going to change this because this is just sitting in here. In my other game, everything is instantiated. Robots and humans battling and everything's in speech. All right, that should be okay there. You know what though? I'm imagining here the different counties. That still seems really. Kind of large. What happens if we go to 2, 5? I wonder why this doesn't change between these. That did nothing. There's very few movies that end on a down note. I'm trying to think. I was trying to think of one. Um, what have I done? Well, we're gonna have to fix that, obviously. Uh, oh, I was changing the area. Good God. 2, 5. The area just got smaller. We want you to 1. There we go. I want the camera, so I want to adjust the size down instead of zooming the camera in and out to have sort of like a baseline. The reason I was thinking about this was because this is going to get massive. There's going to be like 500 of these counties, and I want to have like the base is just 1, um, and make the things smaller. If it was make them bigger, that would be a different story. But make them so I just to have like a baseline, and I think the easiest baseline is to have the camera at 1. Um, okay, I think I fixed this disaster that I just caused. Yeah, that scales 1. All right. But does this, why doesn't this adjust this one? Let's just delete this one and add it back in. It doesn't really matter where it goes. Because so in my other hex game, um, they were 8 times too big, and the issue was that the map itself in Godot was so out of control, even so I was like, I gotta have a baseline. So I was thinking about this. I think this will be better. I know this is tiny right now, but when we start adding them, it will fill up the screen. And since we can move around shit, um, all right. So that was the one thing. What I was trying to save it on this screen. My constant saving. We also, what we should do here, I think, is just put a node. We're gonna do this kind of. We're gonna have to keep everything very. This is gonna get out of control pretty quick. We're gonna do a node and just gonna call this counties, and we're gonna put this in here because we're gonna have a bazillion of these eventually. Only 7 for the main thing, but and then we're gonna call this player UI canvas. I think I'm gonna delete this control. No, we're gonna just put it over here. Well, now it's gone. Just making sure everything's working. Let's start over. This is 4. Let's put this over here. I want to start over here. I gotta like redo my mind here. This thing's in the wrong spot for 1. We don't need it in the attached to the camera. Let's turn this thing off. I just want this to reference the size. Let's add another. So it is a control. It's weird. How did I do this in that? We'll have to look. What's weird is so if you add in a scene, how did I do that? How did they? Oh, do they? I was doing that a bunch in the hex one. Uh-oh. Um, how did I add a scene to this? Okay. No, that's a node. I did this the other day just in my testing, in my learning experience. Maybe it was down here. Yes, it was down here. I noticed in those tutorials, no one ever used this user interface thing, and I tried it, and I had all sorts of issues, and I was like, why does that exist? That's one of the weird things about another weird thing about Godot. All right, this should be a node, huh? Or node 2D. We can change that somewhere. Change type. Node 2D. All right, I have like a bazillion nodes in my other one that are just plain old nodes. Hoping that we're not going to run into issues later. Anyways, so we got the counties. And so, we were talking about the color coding and one of the YouTube comments. If they're different color codes, does it matter? Like, is that part of like this whole thing since this is a 2D thing? Man. All right, let's add a control while we're thinking about this. And then I think we're actually going to want to have a panel, but not a panel. We're gonna might want a panel container. Let me look at how I did the other one. Um, I fixed that issue that I was having on this, like almost right after the uh, I was done streaming. So how did I do this here? Control. Oh, I just did straight up panels. I remember I was messing around with the other things. All right, so let's put that down there. That's going to be confusing later, but let's just do a straight up panel. They don't need to be. They don't need it to be dynamic right now. These ones won't ever need to be dynamic. When we do the other things, the ones with the armies and stuff, that is going to need to be dynamic. So we did 400 by 600, and that was massive. Oh, we got to do another thing here too. We got to do a couple of things. First off, we got to go. This canvas layer needs to be bigger. It needs to go across the whole thing. Wait, the control needs to be bigger. It needs to go across the whole thing. We want it to expand to the whole screen. And let's make sure this little square is where we want it, which is in the upper left-hand corner. Yeah, the UI thing is very difficult for me. I don't know why. Yeah, I'm just making sure it goes over the top of that thing. That is, it feels overly complicated because we're about to get into the weird shit in a second here. So this we had 400, and so it's minimum. Let's do 200 by 300 and see how that, whoops, 300 and see. We don't need it like it's ridiculously huge. We actually might not even need it to be a rectangle. I guess that's fine. It doesn't even really matter right now. but but there we go. 200, and then we can delete this fucking thing. All right. So then the next thing we're going to need in here is a label. And this is what we're going to be changing. And this is where the shit gets weird. I'm gonna have to reference my other one a bunch. How did I do these things? Oh yeah. So we gotta do the it's weird. It is an exact science, and it's weird because you can wing it more in Unity. In this you cannot wing it. We want this to be centered. We want this so like there's nothing in here. Let's put in some words. We're gonna call it Schmortland, Oregon. That way we know, about the right size, but we also know that it's not what we're getting when we try to change the text. Schmortland, Oregon. We're on the label, so we actually can use these things. I think we want this centered at the top. How is that gonna look? I know that it doesn't matter, but I still like how much at the top? That's pretty close to the top. We could do centered. Whoops, that's not the centered I want. I want this centered. No, that looks terrible. There is a way to do a margin. And this is like, there's a margin thing you can add in. A margin container. Let's try that. Let's fuck around with that. Okay, margin container. Let's put this label inside here. How the fuck does this thing work? We need this thing to expand to that. We need to put this. Oh, now we have different anchors though. like that. And then we can do something to these margins here. I remember I looked at margin containers and had all sorts of issues with that too. We need like I had a hard time finding it. This is gonna be a struggle. This is why I'm so daunted by this one. Oh, that's gonna be. I bet you this is for buttons. That will be useful when we do the hex demon one. The buttons are less useful. Oh yeah, someone was saying that also I missed this mouse thing. Oh, I wonder if this is the so you can click through. I'm learning so much today about we don't need that right now. We're gonna mess with those theme buttons on it in a second, and I'm just looking for. There's got to be a spot where I know there's a spot where I guess it's got to be under themes. So this is where things get bizarre. What the fuck is this? Okay, no. This is what we want. Get this shit out of here. It's right here. So we want top margin like 10, let's say. Now let's look at this. That looks good. And then on here, this is where things get bizarre to me. This is the part where I don't understand why they made this so complicated. You got to have a new label setting. Then you can click on this and you can change the font here, but then you need a new font variation or some shit. So if I want to change this, let's say to 32, that's how you have to do that. It's weird to me that they made this so we don't give a shit right now, but we might in like 5 minutes. Like, why isn't there like a default one? It's bizarre to me. Okay, Schmortland, Oregon is ready to be turned on and off, which is a whole other thing. So this panel is going to be called, actually this, how did I call it in here? I got a reference, like I said, my other thing. Okay. I think what we should do, this should be county info control. I've started to always put what it is at the end to not fuck myself later. So then we want it. I've never unhidden or hidden anything, but we want that to be hidden. And then we go back to this and we want to, so select county. We're going to need to go to like globals. We're going to need a global thing here. We're going to have, oh, we already put it. We already have it in here. Let's not call this panel. Let's rename this to control so they match. Then we'll go to, this should have globals in it. Let's put this is outdated though. I want this. It won't let me put it in here, huh? What did I call it? Pop-up panel? No. That would be the problem. It still won't let me though. We gotta probably build it again. The text or which is blurry? There we go. All right, so we got this thing. Then we got, how's it going? New Joker. So now we should be able to hide and unhide this thing. I don't know how to do that, but we'll figure it out. County Set. It's probably set something. The county panel might eat all input from the county as it fills the screen. Oh. So the control might block the clicks. As long as um the whole that'll I'm actually if we're blocking clicks accidentally, I'm happy. Unity, when I first started in Unity, I had so many issues clicking through panels, and it's like now it's become a pet peeve when I see it on like triple A games or single A games. Any game, indie games, I'm like, you can click through this fucking panel, and it makes me so upset. So let me do this thing, and then we'll double check here. Godot, I want to see how do I set hidden. I can't remember. Godot set hidden C sharp. So this is the canvas item. We might make the canvas that size then. We're going to have like a whole thing over there. Here's our modulate again. Visible. True. Okay, so I think what we want to do here is like baby steps. Oh, we can hide as one of them? Hide. Except we want it to be the opposite of hide. See? What is what is the opposite of hide? Um, show. All right, that makes sense. Okay, so this is going to be hidden it first. So we'll click on that and it should show it. But what we were worried about is this control covering the whole thing, right? All right, that was pretty easy. With chat's help, of course. So the worry is this canvas. So this canvas is going to have like a bar at the top. The left side is going to have stuff. The right side is going to have like a combat log. I keep calling it a combat log, but it's more like an information log. You know what's weird, Joker, is that I'm always surprised that YouTube does that too. I'll start a video of whatever and it will be at 360p or like 180 and I'll be like, what is this blurb? Um, yeah, and that's what we're gonna do next is we're gonna have to do we gotta set up first. I want to change the name of this text. We need to have like I think it's gonna be a dictionary actually that has the name, of the county. We could actually, we could do this temporarily. We could say, how are we going to do this? How did I do it in the original thing? The problem with it, so when I'm rewriting this, like I keep saying, I'm hoping that we'll make it better. County info panel. I was wondering if part of it was exactly. I wonder if part of the loading videos at shitty resolution was their attempt to reduce bandwidth use. Like I'm listening to music right now on YouTube, and so, it doesn't matter if this is actually at high resolution. It's at HD, but it doesn't matter. the resolution because I'm just listening to music. What is this clusterfuck that I'm looking at here? Uh, all right, let's not. I don't think we want to use that old code as a reference, actually. For now, like we're gonna pull the logic out of it, but I don't think we're gonna rethink this. So for now, let's just do. We're gonna have to figure out. We might need like an array or something. I don't know. We want a public label, uh, county name label. Then over here, we're gonna go. And this is the same as Unity, where there's a dot text at the end. So it's weird how similar some stuff is, than other things are very, very different. Oh, wrong game. Wrong game. Oops. There. That was all right. So nothing's happening here, and that didn't work because you know why? Because I didn't put this this script. I didn't attach the thing. I didn't attach the thing to the thing, and we need to rename this label actually, because otherwise, county title label. Stinkowinks, how's it going? It is Saturday. Okay, so that worked, except we don't want county at the end, but that's a whole nother thing. Stinkowinks, I was looking. I wish I would have brought it into my room here. I was looking at your Twitch channel yesterday or the day before. I don't remember why. Um, and you said you made guitars, and it was blew. I bought a guitar. I used to be in bands and stuff. Um, they all sucked, but I bought a guitar chord the other day, and I was shocked that all the guitar chords now have an elbow on them. Like how I don't know how this might have been doing this for the past 20 years. They used to all be straight, and that was always an issue. And it blew my mind that it took this long for all the guitar chords to get an elbow. You can still buy them with the straight one. Um, where you plug them in. All right, so that works. Now we're gonna need a second one, like Wind was saying, because we need if it works on one, it doesn't mean it's gonna work on all of them. And this is gonna be kind of how it works. Um, we're gonna slowly be adding counties as we need them for testing. So let's go to these assets here and drag one of these counties out. We're gonna do, and this is gonna bring up a whole other horrible issue. We're gonna do Tillamook next. We're gonna do Tillamook next, and we're gonna need a new scene. So I bought it off Amazon. So I bought the chords. I had one day like that, like 2 weeks ago. I was like, man, I wish all my uh, old gear for music was playable. It was like just in bags. Everything's untuned, old, beat up, dusty shit. And then when I went, I didn't have like guitar picks or anything. So I ordered them off Amazon. So I think what we can do. No, let's not. I was gonna say what we could do was duplicate this. Maybe we can't. Let's see what happens. Let's duplicate this thing, and we're gonna call this Tillamook County. No, Oregon County. And then what happens if we just like start dragging shit around? Then this area, I think we need to it is, and I actually eat that ice cream. I'm a ice cream fiend. Ever since I cut back on my drinking, I have been a fiend for ice cream. there's, there's, I am I my typos are very. I'm surprised. Oregon County. All right, we gotta fix this though. Let's see. Can we just reset it? Because I remember this wasn't that big of a deal when we did it. Uh, oh, we're in the wrong spot though. Oh, I think I dragged this to the wrong one. I did. We need to open this guy up. I'm so glad I noticed that. I'm still using like Unity's right click thing. So we gotta fix this one. And we gotta their ice cream is so good. I actually ordered so I get have all my groceries I never leave my house. I have all my groceries delivered. And I decided to get something, and that was this literally happened yesterday. I was like, I want to try something besides the Tillamook uh, ice cream, and it was pretty bad. It was more expensive too, which I don't understand. It was like the cheap um, Bluebell. I haven't even heard of that. All right, where do I fix this thing? Let's see. Let's figure out where I fix this. Because we did this the other day and it wasn't actually that bad. I would like to not be able to see this thing though. That'd be nice to get that off my screen, I guess. Oh no, this is the area is what's. So we gotta find this area. It's that good. I didn't see Wind. I didn't see your message about uh the spaces. I'm hugely into making this like normal English, and then I know it's like against all programming, except for like don't put commas and colons and shit in there. Um, delete collision shape and sprite in top corner where you were looking for in the area collision. Yeah, exactly. Regenerate the shape. It's got to be in the area spot though, right? Audio bus. Click on your sprite in the hierarchy. It shouldn't be that hard, right? I'm just not remembering or seeing center of. Oh, right. It was like over here. So this isn't going to save me any time duplicating, I don't think. Did this? Yeah, it was this thing. Let's see if this one has any of those little specks all over it. Can I zoom out? See, I made this one better, it looks like. Yes, this is what we did last time. I totally forgot that this is how we got there. I think it said that last time too. This one looks okay. This still says it's called Portland, though. Oh, you know what? When I started this, there was a thing, and I don't know why this just popped in my head. A blender setting that I wanted to turn off. Uh, Probably want to type it here. I wanted to turn this off. Whoops. God damn it. Oh. Save and restart. We'll do that real quick. I know, totally off topic, but or off what we were doing. But if I don't do it when I remember it, I. All right. So now I think we're okay here. No, no, yes, because the signal. So that's the reason I wanted to copy this. Was just. I don't even know. I tried to learn a little bit of Blender, and it was just. It was bad. So now we're gonna. This is gonna be a problem. We're gonna put this in here. We can actually. Let's do this. Let's turn off. I don't want to see this. How do we turn this off on here? I want to turn off this one too. Fuck you. I just don't want to see it, you know. Let's see here. Yeah, well, okay, so this one isn't that bad. So this is the horror that we're gonna run into, and I had the same issue in Unity. Some of these maps are not the same size, so when you try to fit them together, they don't fit. They're different. I had to cut them out of different maps. That one actually fit perfectly. Okay, not perfectly. No, so this one I must have cut out of the same map. That looks actually okay. I was trying to. I forget why I needed it. That looks okay. Clicking doesn't work anymore though. So let's figure out. Once I've done this about 400 times, I'll remember. That was on Tillamook. I don't know why that's flashing at me. It's flashing at me because, all right, now let's try this again. One of the bummers is that, once we get all the 7 test counties all set up, we won't mess with them for so long that I'll forget how everything works. Yeah, this still doesn't. Is it because I made the areas invisible? I don't feel like it should matter, right? No, they were invisible before. Did I not rebuild the game? Okay, one works. Uh, One works sometimes. Oh, it's gonna remember that it was connected to that other thing. Is this Tillamook? This is. Um, that also is like a Unity thing. That it's similar. Similarly, let's save this. It looks like it was the new one. You know what, though? There's another way I did this in the other one where these weren't. No, well, that should still show. That should still change. I wonder if it's the. Oh, it's the thing. It's the thing that You know what it is? It's the thing that Wind warned me about a second ago. It's when this thing pops up, it covers up. It covers up the thing. He's he said he's like, I don't think you want it that way. Um, the click is covered when that opens up. So we want this thing, not that. We want to do. Oh no. We want to do this thing to. Where is this thing? The canvas, I guess, is not. How do we resize this thing? I want to scale it. It's this. I got to do this. The control. Taryn Stone, how's it going? I'll once I figure out this clicking thing, I think that connecting by code sounds better. But I want this to be clickable. Just this part, not the rest. It's under control. Does it have its own little thing for that? When I try to put the panel, this control thing, I don't want to scale it. You know what I mean? I guess I could scale it and then have the thing fit to it. Oh, what did I just do? Go back to there. Um, so if we did ignore, but that's going to ignore everything, all of its babies too. Can we make this thing? Oh wait, okay, all right. Well, this doesn't need to. We wanted it to stop here, right? If we go back to here, no. Ignore. Then this panel. Okay, I was in the same thing. There is a mouse thing here though, and we want the panel to stop. Um, my God, that's so much easier than Unity if this works. Oh wait, that was still open. Um, so then we can test this. This is actually a pretty good test with our margins too. Whoops. So in Unity, it is such a fucking pain to not. I know I already said this, but it was a disaster. There's 500 threads of people complaining about clicking through the goddamn UI. Like, it's just a nightmare. All right, let's fix this container thing. All right, there was two things. We wanted this to start off. Well, let's turn it back on. Let's fix this margin. We want let's do 10 on the left. Let's do 10 on the right. And then what happens when this is too big? Let's turn this off. Okay, that didn't work. You know what's weird about this too is that sometimes you can change shit on the fly. I can't see my margin container though. Yeah, that is not going to help me. I guess I can't see anything. Turn back on here. It's so there's some stuff that's really easy in Unity, but the click through thing, Jesus Christ. And it's after you've spent 5 hours and you finally got it to work exactly how you want, you got to remember how to do it the next time you add a UI panel. It's like a world panel. Like if you have like, let's say there was a little name above this thing, that's when this shit goes bad, and you gotta like put all sorts of crazy shit in. I don't know. Uh, I don't think my margin container is working right here. It worked at the top. What happens if we put like left of 50? All right, so that should be way off at this point. Yeah, exactly. No, yeah, I finally, so I would copy the pieces. So that's working. Okay, I know what the issue is. We need to make it so that there's like wrap or some shit in this label. We need to make it so that it auto wrap. Here we go. Smart. I don't know how smart that is. All right, then let's go back and fix our margin here. 10 seems good. Yeah, I don't that so I was kind of excited about Unity's new UI thing that they were working on. Um, but it was also it was actually more similar to this. Turn you back on. Okay, that didn't. Well, I don't know. Maybe I didn't restart it, but now it works. I just don't want it to go to the very edges. It looks dumb. I mean, like I said though, we don't really care that much. It doesn't need to look that good right now. This is just we're rebuilding the basics. Well, the whole game isn't planned to look that great right now. You know what we could do? Can you put a texture in here? You can. Not in here. We'd want it in here. Let's not I'll look at that next time. But there is like I do have a texture that goes in the back. It's like a piece of paper looking thing. Um, was that in Godot or was that in Unity? Uh, I'm curious. Now I'm gonna go back and look at this thing. Yeah, it's I am the UI part of this is very confusing to me, and I'm you know, Godot is made for, well, one of their things is, you know, to get it to new people into easy for new people, and I think their UI is really bizarre. Like, it's cool that, like, this is great, this is amazing, but uh, all right, let's move this. But it's very. I'm gonna move the camera, starting camera here. Oh, did I move this? Whoops. Definitely didn't want that key. Did I? What did I do here? I did something weird. So I need to go. There was one video that was very into showing the themes, so I need to watch that one again. I had to, like, only glance at it. It looks like I put, this looks weird to me is what I'm seeing here. Maybe it's not. That's centered, but then why this should be in the upper left corner, I feel like. I guess it doesn't really matter. We're gonna put this so that, whoops. We're gonna put this so that it starts a little more centered. We'll put it like this. That's the dots in the middle there. All right, so there's our ugly start again, but it's working. Um, so what's next? That one's done. County info panel has opened up. So now we're just going to be doing a shit ton of UI stuff. We've doomed ourselves to UI for the rest of eternity. Let's add a column for that here. Player. We'll call this. Oh, you know what we need to do? Trying to think. Yeah, we need the top bar. Uh, and that's going to mess up what we just did, but that's okay. So then we need to have time. We need to have research as a button. We need to have change time. We're going to need to have resources, influence, resources. I'm making these baby steps because I like to check stuff off. Food was one of them, and resources, scrap was another one. I can't even remember. I don't want to load up Unity to look at it because the problem with doing that is it just annihilates my computer while it's run. You know, like, to have both of them going. I can have two Godots, no problem, but having Unity and Godot open is not gonna be. All right, so we're gonna put this bar up here, and then we're going to, and then over here we're gonna have counties is done temporarily. We're gonna have a new, what do we do? 3 UI top bar here. And then we're gonna convert this. And then we're gonna put this over here. Then we're gonna put this over here. And then I kind of want this done to be here, actually. There we go. So first things we got to do is add the top bar, of course. I don't know if we're going to need this other one open anymore. I think that's fine. So this is going to be a panel. Let's rename this panel to County Info Panel, which is the same name it was in whatchamafuck, Unity. We're going to add a control on here. Then we're gonna rename this to top bar control. We're gonna add a panel. I don't know if we'll need a margin on this actually. We're gonna call this top bar panel, not panel. Uh, yeah. You know, I maybe I didn't mention this, but when I started on Godot, and oh no, I did. I ranted and raved about that. It was too. There wasn't enough tutorials, but I should have just stayed with it. Now I'm like now I got to relearn everything. So this we want it to stretch across the top, kind of like that. But I need it to be a minimum size here. With, I think it's I think we got to put the panel in here as the minimum size. Yeah. So this is going to be somewhat, I think 50. No. 0, 50. It was the other 50. No, that's right. We want this panel though to that 50 is kind of large actually. Maybe we should go 25. Get out of here with this. Man, that doesn't look very much smaller. We want this thing to stretch though, like that. Man, that looks so small to me. Let's turn off this thing. I guess it's not that small. We'll do 50. Um, Man, it looks so. It's like now that it looks too big. It's like so unlike my chat over there. It's so giant, but that's giant. All right, we'll do 25. As I get older, everything becomes. I'm gonna bigger and bigger. I'm gonna need those like Coke bottom bottle glasses eventually here. Holy shit, an hour's already passed. So now we're gonna be into some weird shit because I don't know how to move this down. This panel. This control needs to be down. I can just drag it, but I prefer not to drag it. Didn't I just do 50? No, I did 25. Oh, man, the most basic stuff I can't remember. All right, I'm going to take a quick break, and I'll be back in less than 5 minutes. Let me throw this guy up here. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. You know, I was thinking about something when I was out there. Let me turn up my break timer. Um, do you guys use GD script or do you guys use C sharp? I'm just gonna test this. Just want to make sure. All right, we got the bar. I kind of want a little gap there, so we'll just make this. We're gonna move this down a tiny bit. We'll do like 30. That's too big. 6. That makes me sad, but not the Godot thing, or not the GD script thing, but the 26. All right, we'll leave it like that for now. Man, I just let my cat in too. I don't know where it went though. It literally just walked in here and turned her. You know, it's a cat. It got a mind of its own. All right, so we're gonna have a bazillion labels on this thing. Um, I'm trying to think. We made that list, so we're gonna have a list of all of these labels here. Move this over here. We're gonna need, but the time is not. It's not. Not wait. We don't want a panel. I just changed something on my other screen. We want a label. And then we're gonna need an. We'll just duplicate. How many do we need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at the very least. One's gonna be a button. So there's 5. I've never done a button, but we might not even get to that yet. But we're gonna need a button in there. Um, so the auto mod says I allowed it. It didn't like nougat packages. So in chat, the auto mod said it's blocking this for bullying. Weird. What a weird. It said it was bullying wind. What a weird thing. If it was, I would have blocked it, but I don't. Huh. I don't know. Anyways, we gotta have. So there's gonna be a label that's like. Actually, we're gonna have like titles, and so we gotta have day, hour, hour. Oh, I did it again. It doesn't like that word. It doesn't like nougat. Weird. We need day, hour, food or influence, and then we're gonna need food. And I was thinking about not using these dumb icons that I had. This is gonna be research button. These I should have put labeled after all these, but this is. I think let's start with the day and hour because this was gonna make some other issues happen. This is gonna say day. Uh, this is gonna. Let's say this is a label. And then this is going to say hour label. Whoops. And let's just go with these two first. Let's not overwhelm myself here. So we want these to. This I might have to be like a drag around type deal here. Oh, I can't. Um. I was on the wrong one anyways. We want hour to go over. I can drag it around. What is its... Man, roguelikes are so good. I've been playing roguelikes since I was like 10. Like literally. I'm not I'm not exaggerating. I used to have to go to work with my stepdad, and he would just sit me down in front of the Unix terminal, and I would play Morea. Uh, is there a way to do this with numbers? Let's see here. Top bar panel, change H box uh, container. I can read those. Oh. And then it will. So we changed this, and I saw them talking about H box container. Let's mess with this thing. And so there was so the guy that was talking about the theme so much that I was saying I needed to rewatch here. Um, they're all going to be different sizes though, so I don't know if that matters. Let's look at what this. Oh, weird. This one's 26. This one should be 25. Did I change that? Oh, it won't let me. Oh, is it fitting to that? Weird. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna work. I think we're gonna have to manually drag this shit around because they're all different sizes. Different sizes. Well, wait. We might have to have multiple. Like day and hour could be in one container, and then all the resources could be in another container. Let's say 10. It's gonna be bigger than that. Let's say 50. And then what is this little guy? All right, we're gonna have to make this much more complicated. Let's delete these things that I'm not working on yet, just to be less confusing. We're gonna call this, and I think this actually might work. H box. Then we're gonna do a panel. Uh, let's get this thing here, and the panel is gonna have this inside of it, and then we're gonna do another panel. I'll delete this thing. We'll say, I guess, whatever. Hour. We're gonna need a couple of things here. And day. Don't do that though. Um, left, center. Wow, that looks bad, but it's centered. We don't want that to change. Wonder why it's fitting to that. Did I put 26 on here? Where was that? No. Because I know I changed this other one to 25. I think it was just fitting. There we go. Now I gotta figure out how to make these things. Um, this is stretching to the H box size. Sort of. I want it to fit to this thing size. No, I don't. Let me think about this. I want it to fit to some arbitrary size that I'm just going to type in there. Okay, this one I can't adjust. I can adjust the Y. The minimum size, though, does this need to be moved back? Let's do this. Let's delete this thing. So I am going to have to do it like, so the arbitrary size, like I was saying, is 100 going to do it? I have the wrong text in there. Day. Let's put day panel. Day label. That seems kind of big. Let's do 75. Then this is going to be our panel. Oh, I see what it's doing, the H thing. So I don't know if I'm going to have another label for the numbers. Let's pretend like that's actually what I'm going to do. Let's do that and see. And this one would be day numbers label or something. But then we would have this go to the right, and then we'll put in center. Panel container. Otherwise, I'm going to have to manually drag these over. Is that what we're thinking, or I'm thinking? Which I don't really want to do, so I panel container. Or, wait, it's this thing up here. It's that. It's 75. So now 75 looks too big. Now we're going to need a margin thing in here too. This is going to get complicated, but that's okay. As long as it comes out better. And so in Unity, I just manually placed everything, but I kind of didn't want to do that. I don't like manually placing things unless I have to. You know what I mean? Like it's besides the screen size changing, it just feels wrong. So let's put a margin in here. And it should go here. No, it should go here. Oh yeah, there is the grid. I forgot about that. This is the problem with the screen being this size. Is you get these little so this is like drives me crazy. When I play when I play um video games where like colony builders where you're placing your buildings and I always want them perfectly lined up and I get all upset when they're not perfectly lined up. All right, where did this margin go? Let's put this margin should go here, right? And then we go to no, the margin container is going to go here. And then, but not at the bottom. We're going to put it right here. And then we're going to click on it so we can, what is your problem? There we go. Then, 10 is going to be too much. 5, maybe? Why is it way the fuck over here? These guys got to be inside of it, though. Just the day and the 99, I want them to be like inside, like not so close to the edge. Once we get one of these going, we just make a copy of it. Oh, but that's going to throw off that other thing. Can we do a margin thing? Oh, so I should be saving this as a scene? I should have thought about that. Um, line spacing? Does it matter if it's not a scene, though? Because it's going to be there all the time. Or does it give you more control of something when it's a scene? Oh, I get what you're saying. Each one of these little things. Um, what did I do? We want this centered, but this needs to be bigger. The margin container, what did we do? 75? Or wait, we can probably just stretch it, right? To this. Oh, there we go. Okay, that looks so much better. That's all we needed was this one little click. The only problem, and this actually was another thing. This was in my other game. I noticed this, and I just said "fuck it" for now. But I was like, it's set up. The UI set up to only have 2 digits in the turn number, and I was like, "But well, you're gonna get 3 digits regularly." Well, for now, we're gonna have a beautification process. This is just like to get everything. So like I always say, we're doing baby steps all the way around until the game's completely finished. You know, like every piece will be there, but it will all be crap. You know, will be unplayable garbage, but every little piece will be there. And then yeah, and then we're gonna go through every little piece and start adding actual good stuff. You know, like you'll be able to move, you'll be able to click on stuff, and then, but you know, each round will be like a thing. That way, I'll know like you know when I'm creating like a county, what do I need in there? You know, right now we need a collision and a script and a signal. You know, that's all we need. But later we're gonna need all this other shit, and we'll know what's ready when we're there. So you know, this is just like temporary. So if we saved this thing as a scene, I don't have a scene folder in here. Um, and I don't like this camera down here either. I want it up at the top, but we can make that smaller. Then I can add in. How the fuck did this thing go? Uh, let's delete this. Day panel should have a minimum size. It has 75, or do you mean under here it should have 25, just in case? It's so weird that that is you know it. What was the word I wouldn't put in my let me put in my title? I can't remember. It was something so stupid. It was like the word shill. Like I was like playing a video game and I was like, I'm gonna be a corporate shill, and it was like you can't use the word shill. And it must be because you know people have been like actually bullied with that word, and then it's been reported so many times that they add it to some sort of list. Uh, so I think my HBox gap thing is wrong. I think I had it set to 50, and I don't want it to be 50. I want it to be something much smaller than that. Let's do like 2. Well, we did 1 down here. Let's hit play and look at this thing. I actually think that works. We can't zoom into the you know, we can't use the camera to zoom into the UI, but I think that works. Obviously, we don't want it to say day. So this is going to be our panel. And then we go to, but how do we edit? Because if I edit this one, it's going to change them both. Or do I have to save it as a scene as well? Um, I got to do this one as a scene as well, too, right? Make it unique. Oh, with this thing down here? But what is the benefit of that over just copying this other one? Of just duplicating this one? I guess this is a scene now, though. So, like, how would you edit between the two? Because you can't edit this one. Make local. Oh. Then you'd have another, like, what? But I don't get why you would have so many. What would be the point of the scenes? I know you said something about it up here, and then I already forgot. Let me look. No, I can't find it. But yeah, I don't know what the benefit is of making these scenes. Hour label. Hour. All right, we're gonna have to change something. These aren't big enough. An hour number. We actually had a minute number. This is probably hour is not. This is gonna be much larger. Day is gonna be shorter, and this is gonna be larger. Then that throws off our whole thing, though. My whole plan has been trashed because, well, this is going to be much larger because it's going to actually have like a timer, you know. That makes it easier to edit these things by far, and I think that's what that one tutorial guy was trying to get at was if you set it up with all of the weird H things and it's easier to edit later. But now we got our hours, and this is going to be where this gets a little bit brutal. We're going to want a new node just on its own here. Um, I think they're gonna cause confusion, but when they like do weird overlaps. But now I know that just keep fucking with them. This is gonna be our clock. Get up here. We're just gonna call it a clock. And I think I called it like a timekeeper in Unity. And I was like, why did I call it that? Then we're gonna bring over this code from Unity here. I think I called it timekeeper. Time. Yeah, I did. Timekeeper. We were using we were using we didn't know the word for clock. Yeah, exactly. All right, so we're gonna need a new script here. We can actually attach it to this thing. So back to back to the 2D thing. So a node 2D versus just a normal node. Um, this is just gonna hold a script. It doesn't matter, right? Or is there a reason not to do? We have so few scripts in here. It's blowing my mind. And generally, I stopped using ChatGPT to convert my scripts because it changed. Okay, so that should be okay. I stopped because it changed some of my code at some point, and it didn't like tell me. And I was wondering why I was having all these issues. What's your problem here, buddy? We got so many issues it can't even figure out what I'm doing wrong. Mono behavior. It's This is the problem. It is it's I don't think it's gonna have any children. It just sits there and keeps time, you know. That's all it does. And I don't actually know. I've started another thing where I've been commenting out the instance and trying to not do an instance. Yeah, so here's like the daytime text. This is going to be somewhat similar here. Export. I'm very glad I don't have any kids in real life, honestly. I I'm fit. My parents are not happy with that. They want grandkids. My sister has two kids, and they want more grandkids. Daytime text. We are going to need this ticks thing. Actually, I wonder why I made it public or made a serialized field. There must have been a reason for that. Let's not do it as a serialized field. We'll see if we need that. Oh, no, I do remember why now. That's how we adjust how fast the clock goes. Map controls, we don't need that shit right now. Modified time scale, forever time, we need minutes, hours, days. Old time, number of things paused, we're gonna need that. What the fuck is this? We're gonna need some GD print here. In fact, what we can do is just rename this. Okay. So I make in my comments, I think I mentioned this before. I make jokes and I also like cuss at myself stuff, you know. Look at this dumb fucking code, you know, like stuff like that. Um, and I was wondering if like I ever hire someone, are they gonna read the code and just be like, "Oh my God, this guy's a fucking asshole. Look at who is he talking to?" You know. All right, so we have a bunch of things we're not gonna need right now, which is these events. We'll need them eventually, but that's way down the road. So let's comment out all these events here. We'll leave this getter setter thing. You can go away. What else do we need? So it looks like we do time differently here. It will not give me any suggestions. This pause screen text we can get rid of temporarily. So you know what's crazy is I fixed that bug I was working on yesterday when I was streaming. Like an hour later, well, after I took a nap, an hour later, I just went to just like carefully looked through the code and there was a typo in there. It was the wrong variable and I fixed it. And then the combat kicked in and was working. And it's like, I have like half of that combat text uh, commented out and it was still going to town here. This has got to go. Even with half of it missing, it was bizarre. We need this to be in ready, and it's always public. It's got to be public, void ready. I'm finally remembering. It's got to be override, though, I think. Override? I don't know what I did over there. Override? No. Fuck. I thought I had it down. No, it is. Public override ready. Public override void ready. Missing some important stuff there. Uh, void void override void. This is right, right? Okay. Do you guys have kids? Look, no. I'm catching up on chat over there. We don't need the map control thing right now. we'll leave this thing off temporarily. We will put that back in. I like to start the game. It's a pet peeve of mine when I play a real-time strategy game. Start is gonna be non-existent anymore. On enable still exists. This can just go. Fixed update. We're definitely gonna need a fixed update that runs the clock. Start. We'll put this into here. Oh yeah, yeah. I remember the attitude I had as a teenager. Um, okay, so this we got to rename this from clock to timekeeper. Timekeeper. It just can't be the same name there. Maybe that's why I called it timekeeper and then had clock in here. I don't know. So this is gonna be this is gonna be the biggest struggle for me. But let's go back through and see what else we have to get rid of here. All right, this is the, well, modify time scale is, let's put this in order of how it runs. So what happens when that changes? Because that's a capital letter. This is a getter setter, so I guess this was in order. Let's do this what we were doing here. Oh man, yeah, you got the full spread, of kids too, the ages, you know. Is it, are you in the, it's one of them's two, is it doing the terrible twos, or is that not happening? Are we able to avoid that? All right, so I'm going to put this thing down here. Like I said, I'm going to try to change this. Look at this. This code is so old that I labeled what this was because I didn't know what they were at the time. Now I use them constantly. So on ready, number of things paused should be 0. We don't need any of that stuff. We don't need these controls yet. In old time speed is going to be 1. We honestly don't need that either. Aldro. See, this is why I make my UI so giant. In all my games, I can't read the. And Aldro hits. Thank you for the follow. How is your day going? We are gonna need this when we start pausing stuff, so I guess we're gonna need that. We are gonna need this, but not right now. So now we're gonna need to figure out this time scale. How do we modify time in Godot? It's probably not that hard. Godot modify time. Time. Oh no, this is like time. Yeah. Engine speed. Time scale. This is so old though. 7 years. All right, so this actually looks like the right answer. Stop it. If you type it correctly. It's weird though that it left that time was in here. What is my options for time? I'm just curious. Oh, so that's talking about the time in real life, which actually is good to know. I'm not going to remember. But we won't. So one of my frustrations with debug logs and stuff, since I'm an IT guy as well, is when you look at a debug log or log at anything and it doesn't have the timestamp on it, and you're like, wait, when did this happen? Like, it happened in order, but how quickly? So that'll be good to know when I want to timestamp my bugs. So I think this actually works the same. Now, this. What's the equivalent? All right, this isn't going to be time though. This is going to be get to what you fuck off. It's going to be engine. Actually, let's go back. No, no, let's not do that. We can actually do this though. Let's not do this. That's okay. Pause engine? No. All right, maybe this particular find replace was not that uh, useful. All right, so what are our options here? Do you got physics jitter fix? Uh, what else do we got? Max frame is physics isn't. Let's just Google it. Godot. Fixed delta time. I wonder, like. I wonder, like. I mean, I'm sure it's somewhere, but I would like to see the data of Unity terms searched in Godot and like see the spike after they Unity fuck themselves, like um, how that like because in the past 2 weeks I've searched so many Unity things, but with Godot, the word Godot in there. Get process delta time node get physics to access those values outside the processing function. Though I can't see why you'd want to use those. Uh, it is. Um, you can also, what is this? The delta variable in process is exactly that. So the reason I was using fixed delta time in Unity was so that it wasn't affected by the frame rate. If I remember correctly, it returns the time since the last physics bound frame. This is always a constant value. And why did I care? This isn't like a graphics. There is going to be a lot of shit going on, so I guess that's probably why I cared. Eventually, there's going to be a lot of shit going on. Um, so if we go to here, it's not in it's a node. And this is probably, I don't know why I copied this in here. Get. But you're saying. See, I still don't understand the documentation. Like, whoops, like, how do I use this fucking thing? See, these aren't going to be lowercase, I don't think. But they aren't in the list. Get the fuck out of there. This is a node. Can I just do get? What was it? Process delta time. We're going to have to figure this. We're going to do this here. I don't think it's a core C# thing. Let's see how this thing works here. Dot what? Can we just GD print this? Without the dot at the end? And with the semicolon? I guess we should probably put some something in here. Get physics process delta time. And then we got to make this thing be able to compile, though. And I did attach the script already. You know what I actually should probably do? I've never seen this thing light up like that. There's a problem with me putting that GD print there. Where did I put it? I don't think it's called anywhere. Where did I put that thing? We need to put that in. Oh no, it is. Well, it's called in fixed update, which doesn't even exist in this shit. Put you back. Copy you. Where's my ready? Where did I put my ready thing? What I should do instead of doing it this way is I should look up someone else who just made a timer and see how they did it. 0. Timer. Oh, there's a timer node? There is a timer node. Wait. Oh, and you just said that over there too. Um, what does this timer node do? Well, we don't want it to count down. We want it to count up forever. And I need to speed up and down. So we're back to the engine thing. It's so it's not really a timer. We're adjusting the speed, and then we're just keeping track of how much time has passed in a weird clock. Let's make a clock. How to make a clock? But it's also independent to OS time. So here, how did this person? What? This guy has a weird way. So he has the timer count down every 60 seconds, and then it adds a minute. but that's not going to do me any good because I don't want real time. I want time to be I want time to be if I speed up the time scale, well, let me go back to this. Where the fuck did I have that thing here? The engine time scale, you're right. So that might work. What is this person doing? My goal is to have a clock that runs up at a given time, unless time is paused or accelerated, at which point it runs up at a higher speed. Okay, so he has this in. What does delta look like? Is it like a thing? This is. I know these are like some basic questions that you would learn on day one of a Godot 101 class. Um, Let me see something here. I think this has to be public override void physics. This thing. What does this like delta do? What does it look like? I don't know. It doesn't matter, but um, it's part of my learning process. I gotta do dumb shit like this to be able to like. Oh, it looks like a triangle. Are we talking about like space? All right. So whether we redo this here, so there should just be a number that's counting up like really hot, really fast. No. So it's like some. I mean, it's a number that's just being repeated. Like I said, I'm sure this is like in the first day of your Godot class, they'd be like they would explain this, but okay. So let's get this fucking fixed update out of here. Just because. All right, so it's a set number. So there's the physics process. It's okay. So that's 60 frame. But it is reliant on if the frame rate goes down, it goes down. So it's not like a delta time like in Unity, fixed delta time in Unity, where that's like a set number. I wonder if there's a way I could artificially fuck with my frame rate. What happens if I just run this right now? Just out of curiosity. I mean, what is this thing? This is some like C sharp. Is this the breakpoints that I was hearing about? I know it. This thing's gonna like running like mad in the background. Let me stop it from doing that. Um, let's look at my project settings here. Uh, yeah, those are events. These are all events that I commented out on the clock. Well, we're gonna put them back in later. Um, Those aren't breakpoints. They're built. So who's giving this? Is Godot telling me that? You guys are gonna have to teach me Godot, every line of code, every word. I'm kidding, of course, but that's what you. That's a. And thank you, by the way. I keep asking these questions. What is a variable? Can it be a number as well as words? Um, so back to this thing. I don't think I want to adjust the project settings. This is the same. So this is the same as this currently. So if we did, I'm going to comment this out because I don't want it playing. I probably need this. But why couldn't I just put a like a number in there? Multiply time between fixed update. This is gonna be, what is that thing? A double? This thing is the float. I can't remember my old code here. This is a float, and so I don't want to fuck with that because I remember that's like I do remember that thing. Um, but why wouldn't I just make this a float to start with? What happens? Yeah, that's why. I don't know. So that's the thing. I don't understand. I guess I thought I understood how to fix delta time, and I'm using the Unity terminology. Uh, I thought in the fixed delta time in Unity, it ignored the frame rate and just ran at a steady that number that was flying up the screen. A steady 0 point. This thing, regardless of what the frame rate was doing. I didn't think about what happens if the person had a computer that couldn't handle that speed. I thought you would want to. So the idea I thought I understood in Unity was you want to decouple certain things like animations from the frame rate, because otherwise, if your frame rate dips when you're doing like an animation, your animation would get all weird. But also, like my clock, I thought I would want to deconnect that from the frame rate for the same reason, so that things didn't like get bogged down if you had like a weird frame lag thing. Um, so I don't know if it's necessary in this game, but I do. So there are going to be, like, right now it's very, it's the most basic, but I'm gonna keep track of every person that's alive in the game. So uh, there's gonna be like thousands of people being tracked, and I feel like I should decouple it from that, but I don't know if that's actually the right terminal or the right thought process, if that makes sense. I don't know how we're gonna tell if this is working or not, because um, we actually need this to know if this is doing anything. And then we need minutes. Do I have a debug log already in here? We need minutes. I keep calling it debug log. Good God, stop with my typos. Jesus Christ. I don't. That is a good point. We could test it, but does it even matter? You know, with my current, like, I know I'm building problems in. Like, I watched a tutorial, or not a tutorial. It was a game developer who's released their game on Steam, and it was like the mistakes they made, and it was like they didn't think about future proofing stuff enough. We might have ticks at 0, and they didn't. So when they were building their game, they'd be like, "Oh, that's not really going to be a problem until later," and then they would run into that later, and they'd have to rewrite everything. I thought I didn't. I just there it is. Yeah, we're at 0. We'll put 1. I think we need more like 500. See, this is what I was talking about though. Like if this number is a constant, why am I getting it from there anyways? it's it's weird too because as an IT man, yeah, this is very slow. As an IT manager, I often have to like reach over a person and type in. I haven't done that in a long time because I work from home mostly now. But man, the typos come out and you just look like such a fool. You're like, oh yeah, let me just type this in for you, and they're like, this IT guy can't type at all. What am I doing? I want to stop this. There we go. And I'm gonna actually take a quick break. Yeah, it's weird. There's probably some very obvious reason why you do it this way. And what you posted something over here, which physics and other fixed frame freight. Yeah, I went to go help this guy. That this is like 5 years ago, and his caps lock was on, and I was like, in my head, I was like, man, this guy just works with his caps lock on. So like I adjusted to it, but he had hit caps lock before I walked over for some other reason, and he was like thought I had hit it. And it was like this. He's like, "Man, you have weird." Because I was obviously fucking it all up. You know, it's weird to try to type with like you gotta hold down shift for the normal stuff. And it was weird. Look at it looked like I was typing some sort of like code. I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna take a quick break, and I'll be back in less than 5 minutes. Just gotta put up my break timer and stop my music and whatnot. All right, be right back. All right. Let's see here. Let me turn off this thing before I forget. Now we just have to link this thing over and see what it looks like. This is actually working somehow. I got to start my music. It dawned on me that I have this from the old one. It was one. The day and time was one label, but we're not going to actually do that. We're gonna split it up, I think, and we're gonna call this label, and then we're gonna do another one. Work label, hour. It's not really. It's hour, and that's gonna fuck up this shit down here, though. I don't know if we're using the forever timer. So I'm going to leave that out. So this is where shit's going to get fucked up. But it looks like it's going to be better. It's going to be, so I was kind of lazy. Um, we can just put like days in here. And then this, we didn't call days. We don't have days. Oh, we got to do string it. And then here, we're going to do our label. But we're not going to do that. We're going to do... How did we do this thing here? We're going to do this. And we need another one of these things. We need a squigs here. Now we need to build this thing. Oh, we're gonna have to make this local. Now I gotta remember that exists because I have a feeling that I'm going to not. What? We're in the wrong spot. Get out of here. Not. We can just. Do this. Then what does this look like? This is gonna get all fucked up because ours is bigger. I mean, that works. Yeah, you can post a link. I think I allow. I know on my other channel I allow it, so that works. Except our looks stupid. Um, that's that's a different issue. The word hour is stupid. Um, let's fix that. Let's call this time. Time? Time? Let's do this as time. And this is time. Whoops. Except with a correct I. And then let's make this say time. It actually fits it in there. It made it bigger automatically, I think. I'm trying to zoom in on it. Let me pop this guy open. You wrote that in like 12 seconds? Let me stop this thing. What is this? It wants me to install something. Did it look different? Yeah, it wants me to install. Oh, you can see my screen. Um, something. Is this a community I'm supposed to be a member of already? Continue with Roblox. Oh, I'm waiting for Discord to die actually. So, and I'm not because I'm against Discord or anything. Because for a while Slack was like considered the best thing ever. So this is working. Uh, we need to wait for 24 hours past though. Slack was the shit, and everyone used Slack. And if you weren't on Slack, you were a piece of shit, etc., etc., etc. And then that changed to Discord, and I'm waiting for that to like happen to Discord, where suddenly there'll be some new thing, and everyone will have to migrate over to the new thing. So this is working. What we could do actually to test this, we could do this really easy. Let's put these ticks up to like 500 and then hit play. Um, yeah, that works. And that's probably about the speed we're going to want, most people are going to want to play at. Like so this is pretty easy. Now we got to add these buttons in here. Yeah, I closed my Twitter account. I'm not a big Elon Musk fan. Uh, what is this in Godot you're writing the? Oh, interesting. This actually looks better than I expected the script page to look. I like the colors and stuff. When I code, I like to be able to, I like the things differentiated like that. That's pretty interesting. Um, so this like slowed it down to the frame rate. And this is just, huh? Man, you don't have a finished game. None of you guys in chat with all of your knowledge. I'm surprised. If you do, you can feel free to post a link to it. Um, all right, we need to be able to speed up time though. So let's put the timer buttons over here, which is like this whole game is UI. So I'm gonna be a master of UI at some point. So what we're gonna want to do? How did we do this? So this is the whole thing. And we want them on the right side. So let's do another. So I think I had 4 buttons. Let's duplicate one of these things again. But we want it to be moved. Oh, look at that. It just stuck it right in there for us. Uh, that's not where we want it, obviously. Uh, X2. X2 time. Good God. Panel. Jesus Christ. And let's put you over here. Come on. No. Then we want you, though. How am I gonna do this? I gotta, like I just did this 5 seconds ago, and we want you to be over here. Currently trying to attempting to make one of those YouTube rescue the princess into an actual game. What is a rescue the princess YouTube thing? I don't even know. Is that one of those? Are you talking about like one of those ads that I see? Yeah, the zombie ad. Good God, I don't know what the name of the game is. You guys probably have seen it though. That where you have like it's like the most basic video of like you have a group of guys that are shooting forward, and I don't even know how you control it. Some phone game. Um, yes, that. So that ad that you're talking about, and then also the one where it's like just like some basic thing where you're shooting zombies, and I don't even know. It does none of those. Neither one of those ads make me want to play the game. And it's weird that they. I mean, and people must, or they wouldn't do it. All right, how the fuck do I? Odin, also, how's your day going? Is there achievements in Godot? Set the size flag on the child. Did I already? I thought I did this. Oh, but what happens when I make the? It's got to be this thing though, because if I set a size on this, then when I change the size of the screen, won't it fuck shit up? Oh, it already has a size here too. I need to be able to move this to the right. I mean, obviously. Um, layout. This didn't do anything when I was clicking on it earlier. Am I on the wrong thing? Margin container? No. Oh wait, it moved something. Right to left. Okay, did I just not see it last time, or what? What the fuck? Why is it over here? I'm gonna change this so that this looks X2. We don't actually. This is actually a button. We'll get rid of this thing though. Sorry, I'm just clicking and looking. Because now I want this. We put a size on this thing, I think. I did. What happens if I put 0 in there? What happens if I put 0 in here? Okay, so it has to have a size. Has to have something. This is going to be significantly smaller. How big is this thing? Sorry, I'm in deep thought mode. Uh, well, I fucked something up here. This isn't all the way over, though. Something else I must have fucked up, too. Top wide. Where is this on this actual screen here? Captain Fubar hasn't gone as well. Shrink to end horizontally. It's over here, but it's over there on that. Maybe we should make this a button first off. Since it is going to be a button. That might mess up other things. How do buttons work in this game? All right, yeah, so there's text already in here. So let's make this a button so that we at least we're working with the same X2. Do we need this margin container? I think we do. Layout. Container flags. We need to be up one. Layout. I have container sizing. See, that's so weird when I'm always confused by this expand button so far. I need to do it. I need to do more tutorials. Vertically fill, that's fine. That's what we want. Oh, you know what? This needs to be centered. Because you can see, oh, no, that's a different issue. It's got its own sizes in here. Oh, I can't change them because it has something to do with this thing. It might be my margin, 25 by 25. So it should be, man, the UI thing is very confusing. So that's compared to Unity, besides the clicking through it, it's very unintuitive. Position, size. So why is this bigger? And I was having the same issue on the other game. Okay, this is the problem, is the margin container is too big. This thing should be 25 by 20. The fuck is this other thing behind it? Oh, the button. This is the panel. Maybe the button, maybe we can take the button out. But I want the margins in there. Does it have a built-in margin thing? Let's see here. If I can get this one, how much time do I have left? Yeah, if I can get this one button to work, then I'm gonna be stoked. We're like, we've made like 0.1% of the game. Um, let's see. Constraints? No. Uh, So it's weird too because like this button obviously has this button is equal to or better than the Unity button, right? It's got all your shit in here, but then it's the themes and stuff that I find like the most like, oh shit. These are overlapping now. I fucked something up. What changed these all bigger? You know what I did is I made this thing a set size and then it changed. Whoops. Yeah, this thing is now bouncing back. Can we say no? You can't go back. You can't go back. Control Z. Whoops. You can't Control Z your way out of that. What the fuck did I do? Like, I wish I could just type in here 25 because we know it's 25. Like, what's holding this thing up? There's something has made this bigger, and it's probably one of the things I clicked up here. See, now this isn't even centered. Now I really fucked it up. That might be. That's a good. Yeah, I can't change. So there's a minimum button size. That's also, I think Unity has a similar. One day I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna be like, oh, I finally, it's the other way around where I'll be, with comparing the Unity container size. What do we got here? So I feel like, well, we took it out of here. Let's turn this thing off. Well, no. Let's just delete this. Let's just get that out of there. It's one less thing to fuck with. So can we do something? No, we can't change that. Because I was thinking maybe we could scale it down to, 0.95. Oh, I can't adjust the scale. Font size also. Um, all right. Button is probably as small as I can get if you're trying to change margin. So I'm not worried about the margins right now. I probably will be. I just want this I want this to go back to being 25 tall. Font also. Styles. Okay, now we're into this weird shit. No. No, this ain't. Wait, we gotta go to here. Okay, so here's the margin thing. Oh, that's what you're. So this is the margin thing, which is actually we probably do want a margin in here. We were doing 5 on the sides, so that will. Well, this weird negatives. We want zeros in here. Okay, so that's. Oh, except we don't want it to be empty. We want it to be. Uh, gray. So we probably have to edit this thing. We need to put in a texture. This is the part where I feel like they should just have a default one. Canvas, you can do flat and change the color. That's a good point. I want it to be this color, which is, oh, Jesus Christ, where's this color? Texture, theme. There's no theme in here, though. Where's that thing? Is that up here somewhere? We're back to what is a variable? Where's the dropper? I would love a dropper. Because then I can just pick that and put it there. In the color picker. Okay. This dropper. Whew, we did it. We did it. Okay. Now we're back to our original problem. Oh no, my margins are messed up again. All right, let's fix them. Oh, it's because I fuck with this style. All right, that makes sense. So we go back to this. We want this to be 5. We're just going to try to keep this consistent. I don't know what these negative ones are. I'm going to get rid of them, even though that's probably bad. Then can we center this font? Or wait, yes, wait, yes, because this is different. These are all the same size. They should line up. Or are these not centered? I thought I centered these ones. Uh, this is the label. I didn't center the. Oh, it's because I've like deleted them and re-added them 16 times. That one's centered, but look, its box isn't the same now. All right, we gotta fix our real issue, which is to fit this in here. Oh shit. You're right. And that's under. So what? I know eventually I'll like adjust to it. Corner detail. Corner radius. Well, what is like this guy's corner radius? 5 to 10. I would like them all. I guess we'll be able to maybe be able to tell. All right, we can tell. It looks 5. See, now, so if I knew themes, I probably could do a theme for all of these, and I wouldn't have to be manually doing this shit, right? I do like this little thing that it's giving you like a preview of what your button will look like. But back to our text issue, text behavior. That says it's centered. All right, well, let's fix the biggest problem, which we need this thing to fit in here. So it could be this button won't get any smaller. If we turn this off, will it adjust it? No. Let's take this button out and see what happens. I put it over here. It didn't readjust. I was hoping this would shrink down, but it did not. I want you to be here. So let's make it really tiny. So to make it really tiny, we're going to need to go to, let's turn these things. So this is where, oh, it will let me adjust this now? No. And I can't adjust the scale. I can adjust the scale. So let's make this small. I just want to see if, you know, if that's the issue. Because this was working, and then I put this, I added one more thing, and all hell broke loose. All right, that's tiny. These are all set at 25. So what is the thing that's... Wait, that's 25? Where is this thing at? Maybe I... No, it's at 26. What did I do? What have I done to myself? Oh shit, what did I just do now? I moved something. All right, this says it's at 25. This panel says it's at 25, but that isn't 25 if this is 25. Okay, no, that's the I'm looking at the wrong thing. That's the minimum. Oh, and I can't change this. Okay, so that fixed. So where are we on? Top bar H box. Now we gotta fix where it's sitting, which is easy because it's right here. Okay, now let's see. Let's put. I don't know what I did. Let's put this button back to 0. This is automatically being generated by the H box, right? Yes, I think. But I can't put this. I can't. Oh, I can change these. Oh, I'm able to change. No. So let's see if this fucks it all up again. No, it doesn't. What? Okay. I don't know. It fixed itself. All right. Let's X2 button. Now we just got to get this button to move the fuck over to the top left. Was this here the whole time? Center right. Off you go, little buddy. All right, there it is. Man, that time is flying. Did it remember the time that from before? No. It's just going so fast. That time is flying. Yeah, yeah, go for it. Okay. Thank you again, guys. Like, literally, I feel like I know I'm back to square one on the programming, but it like with it's everything would have been 50 times harder. All right, so this is a button. Let's see how we work with a button, and then once we're gonna probably have to have a script on there that does something. Uh, it's interesting. This isn't a square. I guess it's not gonna be a square. Uh, so is this gonna wait? Let me try here. There's probably a signal. Pressed button up is what I want. I need a script on here though. So this is very Unity like. I know I need to add not that. I need to go back to here and I need to go we can close this thing down just so it's easier to find everything. I would like a script on here and we're going to do a new script and we're going to go to our scripts folder and we're going to call this oh, you know what? We don't need a script. We don't need a script. We want this signal to connect to here. And we want it to be called time speed 2. Since we already have this. Oh, when we're in the same wavelength there. Uh, let me look at this link too here. Oh, this is your plugin, right? That's pretty cool. Breathe some life into your editor so that it's not just a big boring gray box like like everything. I you guys can see my taskbar. It's not that bad. But I'm getting tired of everything being it's generally blue, like different shades of blue because I like my old age. It's just like which blue icon am I clicking? Like this one actually, this is pretty colorful right now. But yeah, so I used to also have a remote desktop or not remote desktop, team viewer on there, so it was even more blue. All right, so let's see if this thing works. I need to also look at that code again because I think it's fucked up. This is very small to click. Well, clicking it once is gonna. I mean, it started going really fast. It's hard to tell. it's hard. It's hard to tell what. Uh, yeah, that's working. So how much time? All right, can we throw together like a couple more of these real quick? Let's look at this thing because I saw some other shit in here though that I was like, we should pausing should be what we can do next. Actually, let's do this real quick before I call it. Well, okay, let's get rid of this on disable thing. We don't even need it. Get it the fuck out of here. On disable, I had turn off the map controls. You can't disable that. Wonder why I did that. Um. All right, so this is gonna be, and I actually can just yank this from my other code on my other game, sort of. Let's see here. Scripts, player movement. I just need like this part. Oh, I added this after I was done streaming yesterday. I think that was after I was done. So how do we want to do this? Do we want? I guess I'll temporarily put it in here. I'll probably. How will we do that? I'll have to think through, but I don't think I want the controls to be spread over a bunch of different scripts because it's weird. But I think I'll put this temporarily in here just to make the spacebar pause the game. I don't know where I'm even at here. What do I got on my clipboard? So this can go anywhere. Let's just change what this is. I want this. I want that. I don't want this. Where did I put? Did I just stick this in the middle? I put this in the middle of something. Oh wait, no. This is no. What did I do? I just stuck this in the middle of something. Let's go back here. What did I fucking do? No, it was in there. I guess it was fine. We just need this to be its own. It's confused because I don't have a thing at the end of this. I'm missing some. Okay. And I'm confused. This is going to run pause time. I don't know. So pausing time with a bunch of different panels was actually much more it was a problem that kept coming back to bite me in the ass later. Uh, so I can pause it. I can't unpause it. So let's go back to this thing. What did my code? Yeah, I had to have a separate thing. Why was that? I'm not going to mess with it because I had to have it. I need to have a thing that says like if this is paused, it unpauses it. Like in this code here, which I just splatted right in the middle of the fucking this other script. I'm gonna have to change. I'm gonna copy this out of here. I need to have like if equal to 0. Is that what I'm adjusting here? If and number of things paused equals 0 or yes, 0. We will unpause time. Else, like every time I would get this to be working perfectly in Unity with the pausing of time, I would then add a new panel and it would just fucking cause chaos throughout the whole system. And it was just this like never ending. It would just be like I'd work on something else and I'd come back and I'd have the fucking pausing game bug. Does it? What is this thing that I can... Oh, you know what? Something's happening in the background. All right, I'm gonna mess with this next time. We're on the right path, though. Uh, is that what it's doing? Is it's pausing? Well, it should pause. It should pause the debug logs too. Yeah. I think I have. This is like I'm back to this. It's somewhere. Where are my controls with my? Where did I put it? It's probably actually it's probably in this code somewhere. This code. Oh shit! I already have a thing written for this. All right, let me fix this. I didn't scroll far enough to far enough down to my code. Uh, pause and unpause is what this is called. We're gonna actually turn this on, even though it should be telling us because we have this thing here, and then these things. That's why, and then I had to write separate ones for these other because sometimes you wanna, as the number of things changes. It's a whole clusterfuck, but I think I finally got it to work. Um, all right, so we can see the GD prints have stopped as well, and then they're back. Yeah, I just had the wrong thing in there. All right, let's push this shit to GitHub. Oh, you know what happens when we click this button? And that still works. Oh, but then pausing doesn't work. Then pausing's broken. All right, we'll push it to GitHub. I need to also start making new. Uh, we're on. Let's change our thing here. A new branch. We're gonna call this top bar, and we're gonna continue to check out. Man, so there's in the unit, as I got so there was many things that I had to keep going back to, but the time thing, it would always, I'd like find a bug, I'd be not playing it, testing it for 10 minutes, and it'd be like, oh my god, there's another fucking time bug, and then I'd put it on my list of to do, and I could see it slowly going up, on the list, and be like, fuck, we're back to that again. And speaking of that, let's also um, we did this. Well, you know what? We didn't. Let's wait. Change time? No, we did. Change time we'll close this one. The time is up there, and we'll put this change time up here. Did you go away? Did I not close you? No, I closed you. You're just taking forever to go away. There you go. And then we'll push this. And once again, thank you guys for all the help. You guys are great. Um, Add a toggle pause in the mix. Is that a node? There's so many nodes. I need to look at that too. What did we do? So we set up an H box and set no, we did other things here. We added a county, set up an H box, set up an H box with time and 1 change of time. 2x. I don't know why I'm writing it that way, but it's fine. And then we'll commit this shit. Sometimes I actually put in there because I'm pretty much the only ones that are gonna read this shit. I don't know why this keeps happening. I keep deleting all my credentials and it'll stop for like a day and then they'll come back like the next day. I have something syncing something, but sometimes I put in my commits like fix this bullshit, whatever. Broke everything, gave up. Back to that video that I watched of the developer talking about mistakes they made. He actually mentioned commits, GitHub commits. He's like, don't commit GitHub when you're drunk because your code might be fine, but what you're typing in there is probably not. Anyways, thanks again, guys, for all the help, and I will talk to you next time. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.